Recently, Ayaneo announced two new handheld gaming devices, and one of these looks really interesting. It's not something that we've seen from the company before, but let's take a look at the first one here. What we've got is the upcoming Pocket S2. Now, I will admit, when it comes to the original Pocket S, I love the overall design. It's powered by the Snapdragon G3X Gen 2, which does put down some pretty impressive performance, especially on the GPU side. And again, I do love the overall design of the original Pocket S. I think it's one of the best looking Android handhelds on the market. As you can see, we've got a little bit of controllable RGB around those analog sticks, but the main claim to fame here is just the overall form factor and that 6-inch 1440p display. It's not an AMOLED, it's actually an IPS, but with the higher end variant, we get a resolution of 2560 by 1440, and it might be a little overkill for Android games, but when you've got enough power to kind of upscale emulators, it does make a lot of sense, and it definitely looks absolutely amazing. Super thin, as you can see here, and we did have a dedicated button to change performance modes, and in maximum performance with this G3X Gen 2, it would do up to a 15-watt TDP, which is a bit unheard of for a mobile ARM CPU, but this thing could put down some serious performance. Of course, since we're talking about the upcoming Pocket S2, you know they had to add a little more performance, and recently Qualcomm announced the Snapdragon G3 Gen 3. And this is going to offer an uplift on the CPU and GPU performance. Plus, with the Pocket 2S, we get a larger display. It's coming in at 6.3 inches. They claim we're going to be getting a larger battery here. Now, not all of the details have hit the table just yet. And as soon as I hear more, I will post it up in my community section. But along with that G3 Gen 3 from Qualcomm, they also announced the G2 Gen 3 and the G1 Gen 3. So it looks like that G2 and G1 are going to be lower cost options, and we may see more handhelds hit the market that are more affordable with a little more power, given that they're using the G series CPUs. And when it comes to Qualcomm's G series, these are really made for gaming handhelds. Now, the G3 Gen 3 is going to offer 30% faster CPU performance and 28% better GPU performance than the G3X Gen 2. That's the exact CPU we saw in the original Pocket S from Ayaneo. So the big question a lot of people are asking, is it going to be worth upgrading to the Pocket S2 with that G3 Gen 3? Is it going to offer enough uplift in CPU and GPU performance to justify an upgrade? Unfortunately, at the time of making this video, I can't tell you an answer to that because I haven't even seen any benchmarks for the G3 Gen 3. But I can tell you that the original Pocket S already puts down enough performance to play any Android game on the market at full speed. And when it comes to emulation performance, it does an absolutely amazing job at GameCube, Wii, PS2, PSP, Dreamcast. I mean, all of the emulators that I've thrown at this unit so far, the original Pocket S, have performed really, really well. Now, upscaling is definitely a thing that a lot of people want to do, and with a 2K display on the Pocket S2, going up from there with more power on the GPU for, let's say, PS2 games could definitely be possible, but is it going to be worth it in the end? Well, until I get my hands on one or we see the official price for the Pocket 2S, I really can't answer that. But like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, they did announce two devices, and the second one here is the one that I'm most interested in. And at the time of making this video, it's known as the AYANEO Gaming Pad. Basically, we've got an Android tablet here with that Snapdragon G3 Gen 3. We do know a little bit about the specs, except for the battery size. I guess that hasn't been finalized yet. Looks like we're going to be getting two different color variants, the white and the black. Plus, they do offer a controller system for this. So basically, it's a telescopic controller that'll go around the tablet. And when it comes to the specs that we know of right now, it definitely looks promising. Again, it's going to be powered by that Snapdragon G3 Gen 3, and on paper, the screen on this thing might be something that a lot of people want to get their hands on. It's an 8.3-inch 3:2 aspect ratio 1440p 120Hz display. Personally, I've always loved that 3:2 aspect ratio in a tablet form factor. It's also got a CNC all-metal frame, 6-axis gyroscope, built-in turbo cooling system, so I'm guessing we've got an active cooler in this unit, and it supports Wi-Fi 7. So right now, that's all the information we have. We're not exactly sure which version of Android this is going to be running, but it's actually great to see a company like Ayaneo creating a gaming tablet. And we do have that detachable controller, but this is something you can do right now, and I've done it with the Galaxy Tab S9. We've also got that newer Red Magic Nova tablet with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, which puts down some really good performance. It also has active cooling, And if you're looking for something a bit smaller, the Legion Go Tab 3 has an 8.8-inch 165Hz display with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, and that's one of my favorite little tablets on the market right now, just given the form factor. Very portable at 8.8. But if you're into these Android tablets, I do think that the Ayaneo Gaming Pad looks very promising, coming in at 8.3 inches with a 3:2 aspect ratio display. I'm actually really excited about this, but I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments below. Is the Pocket S2 something you're going to be interested in, or are you going to skip this Android handheld altogether? Do you like the new tablet design they've come up with for that Ayaneo gaming pad? Let me know your thoughts down below, and as soon as I get pricing on this stuff, I'll post it up in my community section. But I wanted to make this quick video because, again, I'm really excited about this new tablet they've got coming out. If you've got any questions, let me know in the comments below. Like always, thanks for watching.